886 words within target range. Here's the script. Right now, deep inside your brain, your BDNF is still dropping, and the scientists who discovered it admit they can't stop it. BDNF, Brain-Derived Neurotrophic Factor. Say it once, then forget the name, because what it does is the part that matters. Think of it as the fertilizer for your neurons. Without enough of it, the wiring in your brain doesn't grow. It doesn't repair. It starts quietly to shrink. And right now, tonight, yours is falling. Every hour you sit still. Every night you shortchange your sleep. Every stretch of chronic stress you've been telling yourself you're handling fine. Your BDNF levels are sliding lower. You can't feel it happening. There's no ache, no warning light. Just a slow erosion of the exact protein your hippocampus needs to keep making new memories and keep the old ones intact. It's also the same protein linked to mood regulation, which is why low BDNF shows up again and again in the brains of people struggling with depression, long before anyone connects the dots. The name you can't remember tonight, the word that goes missing mid-sentence, small, forgettable, also the first symptom. Here's the mechanism, and it's stranger than you'd expect. BDNF isn't just made in your brain. Some of the signal starts in your muscles. When you contract them hard, your muscle tissue releases a protein called irisin. Irisin crosses into your brain and switches on the genes that produce BDNF, concentrated in a sliver of tissue inside your hippocampus called the dentate gyrus, one of the only places in the adult brain still capable of growing brand new neurons. Researchers at Harvard traced this pathway directly: muscle to blood, blood to brain, brain to memory. It means the health of your hippocampus is, right now, downstream of whether your legs have moved today. Skip movement long enough and the signal goes quiet. The factory that builds new neural connections slows its production line, and nobody rings a bell to tell you. The neuroscientists who map this pathway will tell you on record they cannot reverse a chronic BDNF deficit with a pill. There is no approved drug that reliably restores it. Antidepressants nudge it slightly over months. Supplements marketed to boost BDNF mostly don't survive a real clinical trial. There isn't even a simple blood test your doctor can order to check your own level. The honest answer from the people who discovered this system is unsettling. Your body has to be convinced to make more. It cannot be handed more from the outside. That single fact is the part almost never said in public. The fix isn't external. It's behavioral, and it's demanding. Here's where it gets counterintuitive. You'd assume more exercise is always better for this. It isn't. Chronic overtraining, long, exhausting sessions without recovery spikes cortisol, and cortisol actively suppresses BDNF synthesis. This is why some of the most disciplined people, grinding through daily punishing cardio with no rest, show flatter BDNF than people doing far less. Endless effort isn't the rule. The right dose is the rule. And that flips almost everything you've been told about just push harder. There's a second threat stacked on top of this one. As you age, baseline BDNF drops on its own, no lifestyle failure required. Brain scans show the hippocampus shrinking roughly 1 to 2% a year after your 30s in sedentary adults. Less BDNF, less repair, less volume. It compounds, silently, which is exactly why high performers who protect their memory long-term have found a narrow window to interrupt it. The rule is specific, and it's the part almost nobody sits down and states plainly. Your body only produces the big BDNF surge after a bout of moderate to vigorous aerobic effort lasting around 20 minutes, brisk enough that talking gets hard. Not a stroll, not a leisurely bike ride, a real, sustained effort, then a full stop. That surge peaks within the hour afterward and stays elevated for roughly 60 to 90 minutes. Inside that window, your brain is measurably more receptive to encoding new information than at almost any other point in your day. Elite learners, competitive athletes studying playbooks, executives prepping for a hard negotiation, the pattern shows up again and again. They exercise first. Then they immediately study, rehearse, or review the thing they most need to remember. They're not exercising for fitness in that moment. They're exercising to open a chemical door in their own skull and stepping through it before it closes. Here's how to use it tonight. Do one bout of real effort, a brisk 20-minute walk pushed close to a jog, stairs, anything that raises your heart rate and holds it there. The moment you finish, don't scroll. Spend the next 30 to 60 minutes reviewing whatever you actually need to retain, a language, a skill, tomorrow's material. You're not adding a new habit to your life. You're timing one you already have to land inside a window your own brain opens for free, and then quietly shuts again. But BDNF isn't acting alone in this. There's another structure sitting just beside your hippocampus, and it's been quietly deciding what gets erased from your memory before you even notice it's gone. Also save to /home/jarvisadmin/brainfuel BDNF script, TXT.